Hi there. This is Rob, co-founder of Tribe 74. I'm here today with Andrew, my partner and also co-founder of Tribe 74. We're your
Hey, Rob.
local. Good to see you, Andrew. How are things going so far?
Not bad, thanks.
Okay, great. So Tribe 74, we're your photography, videography, graphics, branding team. If you need anything for your business or for your creative works or anything like that, you get a hold of us. Come to tribe74.com and we'll be able to help you there. Today we're planning on starting our video casts and streaming and all that stuff with some exciting information or discussions about the design, the photography, the videography world, marketing, branding, and all that stuff. But obviously, the world is at a standstill right now, especially here in North America where we're based, and I thought we thought it would be prudent to share kind of our own experience. Obviously, we know that you're inundated with tons and tons of information regarding Corona and COVID and all sorts of stuff like that lately. But and a lot of it negative, a lot of positive, a lot of it's just craziness out there right now. But I thought we would share. What's happened with us because we had something hit us a little close to home and well, specifically Andrew, so I thought I'd ask Andrew to come on and share his experience being self-isolated for 14 days. What do you got to say, Andrew?
Yeah. Well, I guess I was lucky in that I wasn't sick. No family members were sick. But just before all of this blew up, I was on vacation, and we were lucky enough to be on a cruise down south, and we had no problems while we were there until the morning that we were supposed to get off the ship. Um, we were supposed to get off in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, and overnight, the governor of San Juan had closed down the ports. And I guess had we actually docked there, it would have been a minimum of 4 days while we sat. The captain actually decided that we would sail on to Miami, which added an additional 2 days onto our trek. It totally changed the environment, though, on the cruise. Nobody was going out of their rooms whatsoever. I think the thought was, oh, what if I'm the one that gets sick? I don't want to be sick and stuck out to sea for doing my quarantine period out here. Or what if they just tell us, oh, well, you're going to do a quarantine period out in sea, and then even after that, once we get back to Canada, are we going to be quarantined further from there? So just to that point, things had just turned upside down. Now then, when we were actually made it to Miami, we had to change our flights from there, um, and we came back to this world that was turned upside down. The roads were clear. Um, yeah, I mean, just nobody was out. Now that brought me back to the 14 days of quarantine, um, which thankfully in today's day and age you can click a button and have groceries at your door. I think at that point it was still um, it it hadn't gone absolutely crazy at that point because I could still get groceries within 2 hours dropped at my door. Now, when you go on, you have to wait at least a week to get groceries. So that seems like a crazy change. But um, then, thankfully, we've had good friends and family that have been dropping stuff on our doorstep. Making runs to the grocery store, the LCBO, the important things.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy out there, that's for sure. I've been here the entire time, and it's just it's a whole different world out there, right? I mean, we've traveled to go get our groceries, or we've, uh, uh, you know. practicing social distancing while we've been out. We've gone to, to visit the graveyards, to visit our family, because those are the only family that we really can manage to stay
And visit.
you can visit these days, right? But yeah, I mean, the roads are clear for most part, and you can see that it's interesting too, because you see a lot of businesses, a lot of corporations, mostly the people. I shouldn't say the corporation so much, but mostly the people are really stepping up, and the people are maintaining their distances. People are being cooperative at the grocery stores and stuff like that. I mean, you do hear the horror stories, or you hear, there's always one or two people that always bring it down. But honestly, in today's world, I mean, that's not really any different than when it was busy, right? So
No, exactly.
it's definitely it's been a big change, and it's definitely very interesting in how things are going right now. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, not being in quarantine myself or in self isolation, to that extent, it's to see how things are going. I couldn't imagine having to come home and, you know, from a trip. And I obviously, usually when you go away on your trips, you make sure you empty out the fridge, and you empty out, make sure everything's, that you don't need isn't rotting at home. So then you come home, and now I can't even leave the house. So what do I have to do? So it's, I mean, that's definitely an experience. And I don't think everybody gets to see that experience so much. I mean, everybody's been self isolating, but when you have nothing when you come home, that's pretty scary.
No, exactly. Like it's has been just a little bit crazy. Like just 2 days ago, I had my first walk around the neighborhood outside to actually get some fresh air. Just went for a walk around the block, and very few people were out. And quite often, this neighborhood is flourishing with people everywhere. And we came across a couple of people on our walk, but all of a sudden, one set of people then move to the other side of the street, or you move up somebody's driveway to allow that 6 feet of distance between you. Um, and it still seems crazy to me, just especially because I've now just been let out to do that.
You feel like that you've been in jail, I guess.
Oh, exactly.
That's yeah, it's pretty scary, right? But I mean, it is interesting to see how people have adapted, and how businesses have adapted as well. And that's important. I mean, especially for us, like as a small business, we're fortunate because we have multiple businesses on the go, and some of our businesses are creative businesses, so we don't have to worry too much about. I mean, we have you're able to work from home, so yeah, so it's interesting to see that. How businesses have stepped up, and have adapted, right? And that's important. And I think that's a really important point, is that we see how businesses have adapted to uh, the ever changing structure, I guess is a way to say it, or environment. Horizon climate that is happening with us right now, and you see businesses are now, a lot of them have gone and they've been told to shut down, at least their brick and mortar aspect, but they're still allowed to do like porch pickup type things, which I think, and if you've had the opportunity, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to try it, but it's pretty cohesive. Everybody stepped up. The employees are staying protected for most part,
Yeah.
and the people, right? So uh, it's really it's interesting to see, and I think that's an important thing when we obviously we'll talk about it at some one of our video casts in the future, but adapting and growing and being aware of how things are changing in the marketplace is really important for your business.
Exactly. Like we ordered some dinner the other night, and I went out to pick it up, and that was really my first time being out in the community besides just walking around the block. I walked in the front door. The restaurant, they had blocked off the restaurant, and put two tables out by the entrance, where the staff, they met you there, brought your food over, and so that you weren't even moving into the space. And that's, I'm sure that's to protect themselves as well too. They don't want germs moving through the restaurant, and even still on their tables they had spray bottles that were out for cleaning. and that they were using to clean the debit machine, and you could only pay by debit or credit. They weren't doing cash, and I suspect that's probably par for the course out there right now. But
Yeah,
maybe you
it's
can speak more to that. I don't know if you've had more experience out in the marketplace for what is open.
yeah, it's definitely like they encourage less cash usage. Um, most places I think still accept it. They just they try to discourage it, understandably, right?
Oh,
Uh,
for sure.
I think they have to understand too, and this is something as a business that you have to understand is that not everybody is going to have that cash accessible to them. That or sorry, that they're not going to have those services like bank cards and stuff like that accessible to them at all times. I mean, some people live week to week, or they don't have a lot of money, so the only money they have is the cash in their pocket or the change that they
Yep.
make. So I mean, obviously this is a whole different situation and it's fluid, but it really shows you that the businesses that are going to persevere through this are the ones that learn to adapt and the ones that learn to work with what everybody has in a way, right? So I think it's been a very trying situation, but it's going to be a very telling situation, and it's also a great learning situation, because this could be the I mean, with climate change and all that stuff, this could be the new norm. Every couple
Yeah,
years.
exactly. And you know what? We still, uh, it's unfortunate that we have seen the closure over the years of a lot of brick and mortar stores, just because a lot of people are doing shopping online. And thankfully, a lot of stores had already moved to this sort of format already, or at least had the point and click ability to kind of supplement what was coming through the front door of their brick and mortar. Um, but like, I mean, I've still continued to shop and to do stuff online as much as I can, just to make sure that I'm also giving back to those people. Yes, we're lucky that we still have an income coming in, but there are those that don't. But it's just it is great that a lot of the stores were already online anyway.
Yeah, I think definitely. Like for me, like I think it was a week ago or a week and a half ago that we started using the. I don't want to say names of any businesses, promote anybody
Yeah,
particular, but
sure.
of the local grocery store has an online presence and a really convenient click and connect, click and I don't know what the business, but where basically you order it online, then they tell you a time to come and pick it up, and then they load the car up for you and everything. And to
Yeah.
me, I mean, that is the future, and I think that's great that the businesses adopted it. And this is like I said, this is the first time. Like I'm a little bit stubborn in my ways sometimes too, but for me to actually go out and use it and then see, this gives me people like me an opportunity to go out and try these things as well. So now I can see, okay, so this is an interesting aspect and an interesting idea, and it works. So it's good to see that these things are available, and it's kind of pushing people out of their their comfort zone as well.
Hmm.
So, but very interesting times, very trying times, very scary times, but also a new horizon, I guess, is what we're looking at, and I think
Yeah.
that it's important for businesses, to move forward.
No, exactly.
So, well, it was great talking to you, Andrew. We have to get together again soon, sometime, but
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
we need to be safe and keep our social distance and physical distance. It's an important part as well. People say social, but physical distance is really the important part. And stay at home when you can. I think that's the big message here, and I think
Oh.
we're going to see how it affects everybody shortly.
Mhm.
So anyway, again, thank you for coming out. And if you've been watching this video, and we appreciate you watching, and please feel free to comment below. Please like, please subscribe, please press the bell icon and join us and follow along. We're hoping to have a nice plethora of things to talk about in the next or over the last couple of weeks, but obviously things have been a little different. But moving forward, we definitely will, and we hope that you'll be around to check it out with us. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for watching.
Thanks.